Conan Exiles was released recently, and as it's in early access alpha, it's a good opportunity to take a look at the state of the game and see how it compares to other survival games out there at the moment, like Rust, Ark, and Hurt World. First of all, it's safe to say that even though Conan Exiles contains many of the staples of sandbox survival games we've grown accustomed to, such as resource gathering, blueprint leveling, base building, and crafting, it still manages to create an identity for itself that sets it apart from the rest. In fact, it's interesting to see that this game, more than perhaps other survival games out there, has taken steps to really instill the player with a sense of universe and lore that is missing from other games in the genre. From its orchestral soundtrack, the atmospheric opening cinematic, and the in-game story elements, it's obvious that the developers are trying to tap into that idea of world building and immersion that's lacking in a game like Rust. If you've ever walked around the Rust game world and wondered, how did things get like this, or why as the player am I doing what I'm doing, and not really come up with an answer for it, then you'll understand what I'm talking about here. It's that lack of background information that really situates you as a player within the world. And in Conan Exiles, it really goes a long way to making the game feel fun to play, and it adds an interesting roleplay element right from the get-go.
Behold, bonded one, the very boundaries of civilization. Beyond the passage of our highways lie the wild places of the world, where untamed savages make endless war upon each other.
From a gameplay perspective, the meat and bones of the game is similar to games like Rust or Ark, in that much of your time will be spent gathering resources, leveling up your skills and blueprints so that you can deck yourself out with better gear in order to defend yourself, or perhaps more likely go on raids. There are a few gameplay features which are unique to Conan Exiles though, and they tie back into that element of world building and lore I mentioned before. During character creation, which it should be said is quite a robust system, you choose a deity, and that deity gives you access to unique buildings and items which can impact on your playstyle. This Pit of Mog, for instance, allowed us to eat human flesh without any negative effects. In addition to this, the players can also dominate NPCs in the game world, and have them work for you at your base of operations. Essentially, they're slaves. But you have to go through a process of breaking them down using the Wheel of Pain and serving them gruel before you can really situate them in your house. Different NPCs will allow you to do different things once you've broken them in. For instance, this dancer NPC gave us a health boost in the vicinity of our land, and this fighter NPC I presume defends your base, though I'm yet to see him in action. The graphics in the game look good, and there's lots of graphics options to help you sort out your own preferences. The controls are pretty much what you would expect to see from a game like this. Mostly everything ran well considering its stage of development, except for some problems the developers were having with their server provider and bits of lag inside the game as well. According to a developer's press release, they weren't prepared for the level of interest the game has gotten, and the server providers didn't have the hardware to meet their demands. As a result, the server provider is being changed, and hopefully once that changeover occurs, players can expect a more stable environment. All in all though, the game looks set to provide players with a tight survival sandbox gameplay platform, and with unique gameplay elements to set it apart from the pack. Hopefully the creators will be able to build on what they've started and deliver something that's truly unique and engaging. The developer's choice to focus on world building and atmosphere will hopefully give it an identity all of its own. I can highly recommend picking up this game, although I will say that it is in early access, so do expect bugs, do expect problems, and don't expect everything to be clean and easy all the time. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that I've helped shed some light on the game. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and a thumbs down if you didn't, or otherwise just go about having a great day. Catch you later. Oh, my shield!
My shield!